So we're back with Nizi Project Season 2. This is Episode 2. We're covering now, and so in the last episode, we got some really good trainees. I was actually surprised by the level of talent, but this time around, we're going to get to see a few more. I think the total number is we're going to see about six, 5 or 6, and then some rejects as well. But I'm not entirely sure the rejects are rejects. They seem to be people possibly put on hold. So we'll see where that goes. And I guess it depends on how many people get in the end, and they might just shortlist them and then put them through anyways. But I'm hoping to see a much bigger competition. Getting to see way more people, and then cut people from there. Compared to America 2K, America to Korea, uh, that one seems like a very short list of people. But anyways, let's get into it. So the first person up is Yuki. It's Nishiyama Yuki, 14 years old. This character is really funny. He's got a feminine voice, and he's very much the dainty type. And it kind of reminds me of those. It kind of reminds me of like a Japanese anime where there's a kind of a gender bending anime protagonist, and like something's gonna happen behind the scenes where it's like they get exposed or something. But apparently, this guy he loves singing and dancing, and he's done it for a long time. Has a lot of experience, and just is one of those kind of worldly types. Seems like, but when they're actually dancing, like my feeling was like, whoa, this kid's actually natural, and I noticed that in the moves, the way he was dancing, it was kind of effortless and kind of weightless. There was like something to it that kind of just seemed like it's like you're seeing the projection of something, but not like the actuality of the thing. And so there was something about this kid. It was kind of like very just naturally flowing. But according to JYP, he says that this kid dances authentic to himself. He did say something about him not being skilled enough, but at the same time, he got a perfect technical estimation, which is kind of like I feel like kind of contradicting. But maybe he's just saying that even though he performed well, he could do better. I'm not really sure what he meant by that. But he said that he had nice, big movements and good lines, and he also said he's the best from Kobe. So that's Yuki. I actually really like Yuki. I think that he'd be a good fit for the group just because he's very different. And so far, impressed with this guy. After this, it goes into 2 more trainees. And so, let's see. It went into 2 more trainees here on the side. Like this guy, Kida, and also Kitagawa behind him. They seemed like they were rejected. But I think Kida may have been put on hold because he just said he was on hold. He didn't exactly say I can't use you, and so I don't know what's gonna happen with Kida, but hopefully he gets a chance. And then the next guy after that is Shokei Wataru, a 15-year-old. I think it's 15-year-old. I have to double check. 15 years old, yeah. And he's a karate kid and also a longtime stage performer. And something I've noticed about this kid that stood out right away was how supportive his mother was, saying that he can do karate, he can do stage performing at a young age. His father let him do karate, his mom let him do dancing and stuff, and so he's doing really well. And just like as a kid with a lot of discipline and working really hard. And so I generally like this guy. I hope he does really well. And we get to see him sing and dance on the show. Uh, so the first thing he does is he gets to sing, and to me, what I noticed that his tone was all right. It did seem like he was kind of in the space of struggling, but barely managing, because he was just like losing his composure in terms of his singing, not really his appearance. But JYP said that his singing was pretty bad, but that he could become good through practice, and he basically expressed the song like he understood the meaning. And so for JYP, he was saying that he could tell that he was emoting the song properly and really feeling it. for me, it was just basically like I saw his voice was the sound of his voice. I liked the sound of his voice, and then I did notice that he was like having trouble with notes. But then he gets to his dancing, and he does this personal choreo for My House, and I noticed that he had a really good style. His movements and rhythm were very good. What the only thing I would say that I didn't like it is that he did seem a bit timid in terms of his interpretation of some of the moves. Like it's kind of like you can tell he's inexperienced, and by inexperienced I don't mean inexperienced in dance. He's really good in dance. What he's inexperienced in is seduction, and so you can tell that he's like, I don't really know how to look sexy for a woman yet, and so he's kind of got this thing where he's kind of like shyly doing it. And it's just very subtle. You can kind of tell it's kind of like it's an imaginary type of seduction rather than actually like experience with women. But according to JYP, his dance was really good, really powerful. He had good speed and he was authentic to himself. And so JYP noticed like that this kid has no problem expressing himself in both song and dance. And I actually like the kid, and so I hope he does well. Uh, JYP, he also mentions something later, saying that he noticed that he auditioned at several places, uh, or he has auditions at several places. And he asked him at first if he was going to choose Nizi Project or another place. And the kid couldn't really comment or commit immediately. And, JYP basically told him, if you're not going to commit to us, I mean, we don't think we can work with you because we need people who are committed and passionate about us. And we have the mutual back and forth feeling between each other. And so after that, he basically just committed to Nizi by saying yes. It is a gamble because you never know. He could go to another audition and still choose the other one. And then JYP is going to be left with egg on his face, which would be bad for future people trying to audition as well. But hopefully, this kid is sincere. Like, I don't think you should give this up. This is like the top. This is the top opportunity. You should go all in on this. Especially this kid, very talented, already has like natural energy to him that I feel like would be good. And so that's this kid. That's Wataru. I like him. JYP likes him. Hopefully he does the right thing. He commits. But anyways, let's continue on. So after this, his mom comes out, and she kind of like doesn't really believe that he got the pendant yet. And then she sees it, and she's like extra shocked. But I just thought his mom was really cute. She's really supportive, and you can just tell like she's like really like looking after her own here. And then, so after Kobe, those are the four Kobe trainees that we get to see. It jumps to Seoul again, surprisingly. And then we get to see a guy named Kawashima Seita, and he has a funny look. I feel like he looks like a JoJo character or some kind of like anime police officer or like a mailman. He just kind of looks like the off anime character where they kind of like he's not one of the main guys, but he's like a side character. He has that look to him. Apparently, he's modeled many looks, and it's kind of funny because they're saying, "Oh, he has cute style, he has sexy style, whatever." And to me, it all looked the same to me. And so it kind of reminded me of Zoolander. How someone's like, "Am I taking crazy pills, or do they all look?" He has the one look. Anyways, hopefully he finds his Magnum look. But anyways, he's a model, and he apparently he does. He's been doing modeling for a long time. So we get to see him dance, and it looks like he's been practicing for a while. When he did dance, I thought that he was okay for overall. He started really strong, and part of me kind of did feel as it went on that he was kind of going through going through the motions, but there was a very subtle disconnection just randomly. Like you see glimpses of it, and I was wondering to myself, is this guy still in the modeling mindset while he's dancing, or is he just not confident in his moves? And so I wasn't really sure where that was coming from. But when it came to JYP kind of looking at him, he said he doesn't know how to use his joints yet. So it probably is just kind of like the lack of confidence in the dancing. But from JYP's perspective, he said something about when you model, you have to erase yourself so you can sell the product that you're wearing. But the singer must maintain themselves so they can express themselves through their art. And then he did say his emotions were well expressed. So I guess the thing that I was unsure about, JYP clarified right there what it was. And that's Seita. So Seita just has a really interesting face. And for that reason alone, I feel like he should be a part of a group. just because he's unique looking, and that would really stand out. Okay, so this is another JYP trainee. He's got only 6 months, but I feel like this guy's a funny guy. He seems to love poppin' dancing. He has a good look, like a really good look. Like it's kind of like you would not turn this guy away for your group just based on his look. But apparently he's been a long time dancer. He learned with his sister. He had to unlearn dancing to do the K-pop style. And something I found really funny was that behind the scenes, he's like walking to this kind of like secluded corner to talk to himself and give himself a pep talk. And I thought that was really hilarious because it's like something that happens in anime, but it's actually a sign of like sincerity as well. I'm kind of concerned about like, I've mentioned this before, but I'm kind of concerned about culture influencing people's behaviors. But anyways, regardless of that, he's clearly very sincere and open, and so that's a very good sign. But when he was dancing, well, see, here he is. He's kind of like he's actually like speaking to himself, saying, "You can do it. You can do it." And I thought that was interesting because I would only ever think that stuff. I wouldn't say it out loud. Anyways, when it gets to his dancing, I thought it was very good movements and also subtle face expressions. Like to me, it seems pro. It seemed pro, and I have that written in my notes. Seems pro to me, and I'm a little bit like unsure of it because I'm like, what if I say all this and then JYP says you're not that good? But luckily, I've been in line with JYP mostly for the most part. There's been like one or two parts where I've been different from him. But anyways, JYP's opinion is that this guy, even though he stands like a typical dancer, he dances in a way that connects to the audience like a singer. And so he doesn't have any pop-in habits. And JYP also said he's the best dancer. I don't know if that means from Seoul because earlier he said it about the kid from Kobe. But in this one, apparently he's the best out of all the JYP trainees. And I agree with that. I like this guy. I think that this guy, 100%, I would put this guy in the group. And I think he has not even very far to learn to get there. But you never know. You never know what happens. Some people could excel so fast, it could eclipse them. But I just feel like he has the look. And so if you have the look and this is your base level of skill, you should get in. And he's 16. And so the next one, we go to Tokyo. It looks like JYP seemed to be struggling to find talent in Tokyo. And it's really interesting because the talent he did find came from Nagoya to audition in Tokyo. So this is Ito Eiji. He's a longtime dancer. He learned dancing because his siblings learned it. He was very nervous to meet JYP. And one of the things he asked him is, how can you sing and dance at the same time? And I feel like when he said that, I'm like, what does this kid mean? Does he mean like physically? How can he do it? Like, can he achieve it physically? As in, like, he's struggling being able to actually pull it off? Or is it kind of a mental thing? Like, mentally he can't do it at the same time? Because I know that I can't, like, where is this? I can't draw a square and a circle at the same time with two hands. But some people can do that. So I'm wondering, does he mean that? Like, can he not do it mentally in that way? Or is it kind of physically, like you're missing an arm, you can't do it, you know? But anyways, JYP basically answered him and said, it's a breathing technique. You have to work on your breathing, put the air in your stomach, and, you know, don't use your lungs. Or not, as in, not how typically you would use them, at least. But anyways, I guess it's not mental, hopefully. So I actually expected him to dance first, which is why I got confused when he started singing and dancing after JYP told him not to. But he was basically just singing and moving his body slightly, and so I was kind of confused about that. So I was kind of distracted a little bit on his singing, but I felt like he was kind of rough on like three notes when he was singing. And but his voice could be good. His voice could be good, and he just needs practice. So that was my overall estimation of singing. I didn't really have much to say about it. According to JYP, he has a good rhythm and he's good at expressing himself. And so JYP seemed to like his singing. I was kind of like, I think JYP was being a bit generous there, but maybe he liked him a lot because of other reasons. Clearly, JYP is more interested in the expression, like just seeing someone's real self shine through. And when it gets to his dancing, so for me, his dancing was good overall. Uh, I felt like there were like one or two moments when I saw moves kind of left hanging, but it could just be that's the choreo and it just kind of drags from place to place. And so there was a move where like he's like spinning around and there was some dragging. But other than that, I would say it was good overall, like really good overall, actually. JYP, his estimation of him was that the guy can express himself well. He's natural and relaxed. He has a good feeling and technique. And so JYP actually like really praised this guy and says he reminds him of Rain. And I'm like, whoa, that's like really high praise because Rain was a huge star, even in the West. And I was kind of surprised that he said that. He reminds him of Rain maybe in like the foundational level. But I'm not sure if this guy like I don't know if this guy can become a Rain for sure. But I would say that if he was talking about skill level or his potential at the beginning, I would say yeah, I guess I can see it. But anyways, that is all. That's like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 7 people. 2 of them very short, kind of just like one was rejected, it seems like, and then one was on hold. And that's the characters in Nizi Project characters, trainees. So that's that. I also forgot to do this last time, but I am doing Nizi Project Bingo. And I was supposed to go through these, and so in the first episode, but I forgot last episode, and I promised I would do it in the next episode. So I almost forgot just now, but I had a note for it, so luckily I did that. So JYP Silent Laugh, I think we've seen that, right? I'm confused because I've been watching America 2 Korea back to back with Nizi Project 2, and so I'm not sure which one he did the silent laugh at. Usually, he'll tip his head more than 45 degrees if he really likes it, but I feel like he does that more with the girls. I'm not sure if I've seen him do it with the boys yet, so I have a section for that. But I feel like he did do a silent laugh, so we'll give him the silent laugh thing. Popular song carry. I feel like this would be something for like a voting audience, and so we don't know yet. We'll have to wait for that. Early fave because of visuals. Everything pertaining to JYP right now. This doesn't apply to him yet. So this stuff is going to be held off until there's public voting. Good performance is bad. Why did I write that? Maybe someone rated a good performance as bad. We'll see. JYP speaks English to a gaijin. Is there going to be like someone he speaks English to? I feel like he did that before. I don't think there's going to be like any. I feel like they'll have to be Japanese speaking and Japanese nationality on Nizi Project. So I'm not sure. I can't remember why I put this here, but I know that he did speak English to some people who are outsiders. And so we'll see. We'll wait till he speaks English. Trainee, trained too long. We haven't had that yet. I mean, we're talking about like someone like Jiho who trained for like 12 years or something. Rain mentioned. Oh, that's one. Rain was mentioned in this episode for sure. Guest idol appears, but we're still waiting on that. Cliffhanger edits. I feel like they always have kind of cliffhanger edits, but we haven't been left hanging mid-performance yet. And so it seems like JYP is too good for that. He's not going to do that. That's like an Mnet thing, and that's mainly why I put a lot of these things in the bingo board, because of Mnet stuff. But some stuff I did consider from the standpoint of the Nizi Project. Shy Samurai. Have we seen this? They've actually mostly been pretty confident. Some of them have been nervous. If they're shy, it's more shy in like certain expressions, but they haven't been like kind of like someone too afraid to make eye contact and stuff like that. We haven't seen that. I don't think we will because they're performers. Trainee is poor. We haven't seen that yet. That'd be like if Rain was on the show, he'd be there. He'd be checking that box off because he was poor at one point. Honesty speech, we haven't seen that yet. That's going to happen probably during sports day actually, so it'll be like 2 boxes at once. Boy cries, haven't seen that. And by boy cries, I mean not a boy cries out of happiness, but a boy cries after being badly rated, and that could happen at any point. Macne looking person, actually older. We might have seen that. I'm not sure. With someone who looks like him, Maknae is actually like older, so we haven't seen that yet. We could see it. JYP tilting his head more than 45 degrees. I could have missed that and not really noticed it, but we'll have many opportunities to go back through that. A roguish bad guy. I don't know if that's gonna happen. Everyone's been pretty nice so far. Gratuitous topless moment hasn't happened. JYP gets hands on for dance. I haven't seen him dance besides on anywhere, so that's probably not gonna happen. Top two rivals. We'll see if there's two top people who people kind of fight between. This is basically based on Nizi Project Season 1. You had Mihi and Mako, who are the top twos, and they were kind of like neck and neck. Now, I always backed Mihi, but I always like Mako as well, but I backed Mihi on that one. The string of bad stages. No, we haven't seen enough of those yet. A shape up speech. We haven't seen that yet. Like, someone hasn't dropped the ball so far that even JYP is disappointed with them. A dropped trainee returns. Now, this could work if he brings back Kita. If he brings back Kita, who was put on hold, I could check this box off. I mentioned of Enhypen. I feel like we did see an Enhypen song. I could be wrong. That could be from America. That could be from another show, actually. I'm not sure. I feel like Enhypen would be mentioned. Trainee cooking talent. That's definitely going to happen once they get to, I guess, showing their talents on the... I'm not sure if it's Tokyo or if it's somewhere else. But they do this thing where you have to express yourself. And so, we only got 2 squares so far, and that's basically it. I'm really liking the show so far. I hope this is not the end of the auditions, because, in America 2K, we got, like, 3 audition shows, and then we got 11 people, but I feel like there's way more talent, and way more excitement in Japan for people, because of Nizi Project, the first Nizi Project, already happening. So there's usually the second season of things are pretty good. Like, when you watch season 2 of a lot of these competition shows, that's when people are excited about it, because they saw season 1, and season 1 of most shows usually attracts, like, talent that's not that good. But I feel like season 2 is always the prime talent. And then after that, it's kind of like people coming afterwards. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I like the show. Hopefully it gets at least one more audition episode. I feel like it would be lacking otherwise. But I like that these shows are longer as well. They're like an hour. Like this one was 55 minutes long. The first episode, it was at least also 55 minutes. Funny thing is that these shows, they don't immediately start streaming or being posted to the JYP channel. I actually have to get them from the Nizi Project Twitter page where it's posted, and then it's unlisted. So you have to go through that link. That's the only way you could watch it, which is kind of like disappointing to me. But anyways, it eventually shows up on the YouTube channel. I guess someone has to manually turn it on. But I guess that's it. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. You don't like it, give it a thumbs down. Let me know why in the comment box down below. And finally, if you're not subscribed, consider subscribing so we can share more info about Nizi Project Season 2. And I'll see you in the next video.